Okay, so just a black screen, yeah?
Probably will be, yeah.
Gallery view.
Gallery view, that's what you
Oh, that's good. Oh,
Hi.
that's new.
Did you think you were here with me, just the two of us?
Yes, it was quite cozy.
Oh, a one-to-one. Who's learning from who?
Wow. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Now I see what people look like.
The first time. Right, let's look at this. Okay. Can you see the screen, everybody? Slide. Okay, so we did this on Sunday a little bit, but I just want to make sure, I know some of you weren't there, and we need to make sure we're all at the same place. So there are 4 individual scenarios for giving and receiving. On the left, we have where you are receiving, and on the right, we have where you are giving. The difference between the top and the bottom: in the top instance, you are the subject, and in the bottom instance, the person who you are giving or receiving to is marked as the, sorry, I shouldn't say subject, I should say topic. The topic is the person who is giving or receiving, and in the top one, you are the topic, giving or receiving. Okay, so if the topic is you, so it's watashi wa or watashi ga, and you are receiving something, then we need to mark the person who is giving it to you, not with ni, like I said before, but with kara, okay? And the 2 verbs you can use are moraimashita and itadakimashita. I'll give you a chance to write it down if you need to.
Right.
Everybody okay so far? Roberto, do you need some more time? Okay. And then in the bottom left, in this one here, just turn on my red glowy pointer. In this one, now we are marking the person, the other person. So in this case, it's Choji-san. He is giving you something. So now you mark him with wa or ga, so Choji-san wa, and then ni marks the direction of him giving it to you. So it says watashi ni presento o, and then we have either of these 2 verbs, kuremashita or kudasaimashita.
The giver is the subject.
Exactly, yes. And the ni is the direction where the present's going to. Tatsu, all these slides are online, by the way, if you want to see them later. And then top right. Again, you are now the topic again. So it's watashi wa or watashi ga. And then again, we use ni to mark the direction in which the gift is being given. And then, of course, this is fairly easy. This is agemashita, or more politely, sashi agemashita. Okay. And then finally, this is quite a rare case to have this sentence. Most people don't use this way. If the recipient is the receiver and they are also the subject or the topic of the conversation, then it's Choji-san wa, so he's the topic, watashi kara, so we go back to kara again, present o uketorimashita. But to be honest, most of the time people don't use this sentence. They would normally use this one. You would say that you gave it to somebody else rather than they received a present from you. And this is probably the same in your own languages, isn't it? You don't say, my mum received a present from me. You'd say, I gave my mum a present. Yeah. Is that okay, guys? So if you notice, all of these things are just made opposite, really. Kara is on the diagonals, kara, ni is on this diagonal, and then, yeah, you just have to kind of think about where, if something is traveling somewhere, you need to mark it with ni. If it's coming to you, though, oh, no, this. We have to learn these rules. Let me not try to simplify it, because I'll actually just make some exceptions. We just have to learn these rules, really. But if you remember these three, this one, and this one, then that's all you really need to know. This one is not very likely that you're going to say it. Okay, any questions?
Difficult. I think about, and I have to ask. So is the kara, if you from someone get, is you getting something or giving?
So the kara is used when, let me just move the screen around a second. When the recipient is the subject, when the person who's receiving is the subject, that's when we use kara. So it's to say it's coming from somewhere. From my perspective, from the subject's perspective, the present is coming from somebody else. That's when we use kara.
So when it's to someone.
Sorry, Yari, can you say again? You just broke off there. One more time, Yari. Yeah. Your internet is breaking up so badly, I can't understand, I'm afraid. Can you try again?
Sounds very bad.
Yeah.
When it's to someone.
Yadi, do you want to rejoin the class? Do you want to leave the class and then come back again? It might work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's working.
Oh, yeah.
Something happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try to ask, if when you use kara, it's from someone, and when you use ni, is to someone. Is that correct idea to think?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay. That helps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And to be honest, this is the only one where realistically we're going to be using it a lot, to say that you are the subject, we are the subject, and we are receiving it from somebody else.
From Soji-san in this case, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Everybody okay to move on? Tatsi, go ahead.
If we are talking about receiving on first and fourth picture, why Choji-san uketorimashita, but I moraimashita? What's the difference between those words?
So the general kind of directive with giving and receiving is that you always make the other person higher than you. So, for example, I start with this one. This is the best one to use. Agemashita means giving, but it also means raising up. So you elevate the person that you're giving the present to. When we use this one here, kuremashita or kudasaimashita, this means passing down. So you put yourself in the position lower than the person who's giving you the present. Now, moraimashita and itarakimashita, the words themselves don't actually suggest a lifting up or a going down, but they mean gratefully. So it also, you can only really use these for yourself or somebody that you know very well. Uketorimashita is a bit of a problem, because what you cannot do, if it's you giving the present to somebody else, you cannot say that that the present was passed down to them. You have to say the present went up to them. But we can't use this one because we are not the subject of the sentence. We're seeing it from his perspective. So what we use, this uketorimashita, is basically a very neutral verb. It doesn't suggest really going down or going up. It just says it was passed over to him. He received it. without any kind of inference that it's going down or going up. Yeah. But to be honest, I mean, I've never really heard this being used since learning Japanese. And I spoke to Choji-san, who is the person here, about this on Sunday, Umu, and he said, we don't really use this. We use agemashita, moraimashita, and kurimashita, kudasaimashita, and of course, itadakimashita. So we use these three situations, but we don't really use this one. Okay, that's all right. Okay, any other questions, guys? Right, let's, I think the next page is, oh yeah. So let's do a little bit of practice of these. I know we did this practice a few weeks ago, but I would like to now use it in a slightly different way. So, Jock, let me start with you. Chief Sato paid the drinks bill. Let's use this as putting yourself as the subject and him being the person who did something for you.
Sato Bucho Kara Nomimono no Kaikei o Shiharatte Itadakimashita.
Itadakimashita, yeah. So that would be, let me just quickly go back. So we're looking at this one here, aren't we? So you are the subject, good. And
Yes.
you marked him and you said kara, which is good. So yeah, moraimashita or itadakimashita, good. Excellent.
I forgot the word though for to treat somebody to.
Oh, ogori ogotte moraimashita, yeah.
Oh,
Ogotte moraimashita. Yeah.
oh,
but shiharatte itadakimashita is also fine. Yeah.
thank you. That's a new word. Ogoru.
Sure. Ogoru, yes, ogorimasu. So Yari, Frank wrote me a letter last month. I would like Frank to be the subject and you to be the receiver of this. So Frank is the subject.
Okay. Sengatsu.
Sengetsu.
Sengatsu Frank-san ni tegami o.
Actually, Yari, I'd like Frank to be the subject. So not ni.
So it's kara. Yep. Okay.
No, it's not kara either. So he has to be marked with either ga or wa. And then it's you that's marked with either ni or kara.
Okay. Senkatsu Frank-san ga.
Yep.
Tegami o kaite moraimashita.
So that's saying that Frank received a letter.
Moraimashita. So it's agemashita.
No, because now you put yourself as the recipient of something passed up. It has to be passed down to you.
So not moraimashita. So
no.
So kuremashita.
Kurimashita. Good. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we're here. So Frank-san wa sengetsu tegami o kaite, and then either kurimashita or kudasaimashita. And you could say watashi ni, but if you didn't use it, it wouldn't matter because unless you said otherwise, it would be clear that he did it to you because you said kurimashita or kudasaimashita.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Piotr.
I think it's very difficult to change this because we have made these and it was totally different if we do exactly what is there.
Yeah. Welcome to the unmaking. Okay. Piotr, I taught football to Mark.
Shall we keep it like this?
Yeah, so you as being the subject and Mark being the recipient.
Let's see. To teach is to oshiere.
Oshiere. Yep, exactly.
マークさんにフットボールを、教えてあげました。
Perfect. Yes, good. So here you are. You've marked yourself as the subject, and Mark is the direction. So you said ni, and then oshiete agimashita. Good. Cool. Spiros. Now let's not give you the same one. Number 6. Could you lend me that maths book? So I'd like the other person to be the subject and you will be the recipient.
The other person, I miss you.
The other person will be the subject of the sentence or the topic
Yes.
of the sentence, and you will be the recipient.
Hi. 私はあなたから
So actually, no, I want the other person to be the subject.
Okay. あなたは私に
Good.
この本lend
Is kasu.
貸してくれました
So it's a question.
か
Yeah, so kuremasu ka.
くれますか
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember what maths was?
の
Sugaku.
数学の
Yeah.
本 数
Yes,
学の
good.
本
Good. Okay, could you do it one time, please?
あなたは私にこの数学の本くれますか
So to lend is kasu.
買ってくれますか
I think you did it right first time. Kashite.
貸してくれますか
Excellent. Yes. So exactly. Of course, you don't have to say anata in this case, but you could just say watashi ni son. Let me write it down. Actually, hang on.
Okay.
So the full sentence, as you did it, was anata ga watashi ni sono sugaku no hon o kashite kuremasu ka. And from this sentence, of course, we don't need anata ga, so that wouldn't be there. And even watashi ni is not necessary if it's clear that it's for you. So if you just said sono sugaku no hon o, if you wrote sono sugaku no hon o kashite kurimasu ka, then this would be enough. This would be certainly enough.
Hi.
I'm just going to do that. Is that FD? Okay. Sorry, just seeing a message. Okay, any questions, guys? Let's go on to the next one.
Which is making the condition to erase the watashi ni and the anata na. If we are only two persons talking, but if there are more persons present, then you maybe need to indicate from whom to receive or.
Yeah. So of course, anata you can't really use except to your wife, I think, really, or somebody who's really close to you. So you could use the person's name,
Okay.
but if you were looking at the person, then you don't really need to make.
Okay.
You don't need to announce their name. And then watashi ni, this is almost redundant in the sentence. If you say kashite kurimasu ka, then the fact that you've said kuremasu ka, kuremasu, this means passed down. Unless you actually state, please give it to somebody else, then it automatically means it's for you.
Okay. Hi.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I mean, think of it, I'll give you a kind of equivalent in English. If I said, please pass the sugar, please pass the sugar, then you know that that means to me, don't you?
Yeah.
I
Yes,
don't need to
yes,
say,
indeed.
please pass
Indeed.
to me the sugar.
Indeed.
You don't need to do it. Yeah. Okay, Tatsi, would you
I
like to have
think
a try? Sure. Okay. So how about number 8? Could you go to the pharmacy for me? So again, I'd like the other person to be the subject, and you are the recipient.
I don't know the words for going and pharmacy.
Okay. So pharmacy is yakkyoku.
Yakkyoku?
And to go is iku. If we put iku with a request, then we have to turn it into the imperative. So this becomes itte. Itte. This becomes the request. Please go. Itte.
Then yakkyoku wo itte kuremasu ka?
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly the right way. So just quickly go to the slide a second. You're putting the other person as the subject, and you don't need to say watashi ni because it's clear if you use kuremasu ka or kudasaimasu ka. Good. Okay, Roberto.
Hi.
How about number 11? I will take the cake to the festival for you.
For you.
So
okay.
this is, you are the subject, and the other person is the recipient.
Okay. Agemasu. No?
Si.
Watashi wa?
Good.
Take the cake. Yeah, take. Cake, torta, come si dice? Keiki ga.
Not ga. This is an object.
Keiki o.
Keiki o. Si. Yes,
o.
exactly.
The festival. Matsuri.
Good.
Che ni, che va, no?
Che?
Forse vedi prima festival.
For me, no. Allora. So, watashi wa keiki o festival, che è party. No?
Matsuri.
Matsuri.
Ni?
Matsuri e?
Good.
Agemasu.
Okay. Let's quickly, let's just do a quick look. Sorry, guys, give me a second. I'm just going to see. Okay.
Topic fifth? No, it's the same.
Yeah, just a second. Just going to. Okay, so that was watashi wa. Can you see this, Roberto? Yeah.
Because I non vedo più. Keiki o Matsuri
ni. And then,
no, agemasu.
Yeah. So there is something here first. So we need the verb. We need the verb. So to take something. Do you know this, guys?
Che devo mettere qua? Non mi ricordo che c'era scritto. I don't remember che c'era.
Yeah. So bring or take along. The easiest one is motte iku. Yeah. But this is also just the imperative. This is only the infinitive here. So this also. One more time, Roberto.
Motte agemasu.
But we need iku as well. Motte iku.
Motte iku agemasu.
Yeah. This also needs to be in the te form.
Devo cambiare quello.
I love this couple language learning. But this is motte agemasu.
Sorry.
No problem. Motte ite agimasu.
Motte ite. No.
So it's okay. This is maybe new for you, Robert. This comes from mottu, which is to
Su.
hold, yeah, and iku, which is to go. Yeah. So together, this means to take along.
Take along. Ecco quello non.
Ikimasu.
Okay. Ok. Ciotto.
It's okay.
Ok.
Constantina. Where's the thing gone? There we are. Would you like a challenging one, Costa?
At this point, everything is challenging. So go for it. Go for it.
Okay, number 14.
Why? I had this
Why?
before, I think.
Did you?
I had this before, yeah.
Yeah, these
With the
are all
channel.
quite old, actually. Yeah, all of these are quite old. But let's see if we can turn this into the right one.
You still want me to do it, or you want another
Of
one?
course.
Oh. Okay, so 14. Your son how to pour tea in the classroom by the Chado teacher. This time I didn't say Kado teacher, Chado. Okay. So we are no, the Chado teacher is the subject.
We were shown. No, actually, in this case,
We.
you are. Yeah, we are the subject.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the kara, or oh no, with the the kuremashita. Okay, I will do it. I will work on it. Chado teacher, Chado sensei.
Yep.
I need to write down because I forget it. Chado sensei wa.
Actually, let's put it on the screen, shall we? So everybody can see.
Okay, better.
Okay, so remember that you are the subject in this case. So let's
so
do
I'm
this
receiving.
First. Yeah.
Watashi ni.
Watashi. So it's watashi tachi, isn't it? Because it's us.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Watashi tachi.
Yeah. And what's the particle?
Tachi. Ni.
No. we are the subject.
We are the subject. Okay. Oh. No.
You're not the object. You're the subject.
Ga.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, okay. Yes, because it's more of the information in the sentence. Watashi tachi ga Chado sensei ni.
That's going to be the direction of something going towards the Chado sensei. But you want to say that it's coming from the Chado sensei. So this is going to be
wa.
No, you've already got the topic.
Ni. Sorry.
No,
ni.
Not ni. I just did this with you. So it's
I
coming
got
from.
confused. Wait a minute. Comes from him, and I am the subject.
Yes.
Kara.
Kara. Yes, exactly.
Describe brain damage.
No. It's just living in Italy. It does this to everybody.
Yeah. True. Okay. Watashi tachi ga Chado sensei kara.
How to pour tea.
Okay, this is how to pour tea. Sosogu is the verb.
Good.
How to, we need to put in mas and kata.
Good.
So,
well
done. Kale, I forgot. Jimas. Jikata. Oh my
Nearly,
God.
but I'll go for gi instead of g. Gi.
Gima. Sí. Okay. Gi kata. The T is ocha.
Ocha. But where does that go in the sentence now?
How to put in the class.
Where would
Okay,
you
it's gonna be before the verb. Okay, it's before the verb.
Good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it needs to
Gotcha.
be at the
And then
in the
what part-
classroom.
so
It's ocha o.
Yeah, okay. Or, so guys, I know that I've done how to do things with you before, this how to eat, how to make, and I told you before that we should use no here, but actually we can use no or. Both are fine. I now understand. I was taught originally that it was no, but I investigated recently, and you can use o as well, which makes it difficult because this is also an o here as well. But that's why I usually use no.
Okay,
Never
so you
mind.
can say ocha no. The classroom is. I can say
Kyoshitsu.
room. Kyoshitsu. Because I was going for the room. Hey.
And then what's the particle after kyoshitsu? Careful now. Think of the right one. De. Well done. Yeah.
It was very extensive, the last lesson. Okay.
Then we were shown. So we received the showing. Yeah.
We are receiving the okay. So there was gonna be moraimashita.
Something moraimashita, ne? Is it going to be moraimashita? Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's shown. It's the to show me and us, no?
Nearly.
It's definitely me.
Yeah, it's definitely me. Definitely me. Miseru.
Oh my God, miseru. I was pretty sure it was something with me. So, misete moraimashita.
Perfect. Misete moraimashita. Good. Okay, so for some of you, and I know that most of you know this, but for looking and showing, there's all these different ways of using this kanji. Mi. This one here. So this means give me a second. This means mi to see, and it also is can, isn't it, Jock? Can?
I think so.
Yeah, can. So we can use it as miru to see, mirareru, to be seen, mieru, to be able to see, and miseru, to show.
There is also mitsukeru. It's same
mitsukeru,
kanji.
yes, good, exactly, yeah, mitsukeru, good. Mitsukeru, which is to find. Yeah. So a very useful character.
So,
Oh, it was good, Costa. Well done. Watashi tachi ga Chado sensei kara ocha no sosogikata o kyoshitsu de misite moraimashita.
Is it
One
ga
question.
or wa?
May I ask a question?
Hang on a second. So Spiros first. Did you say ga or wa?
Ga or wa?
So actually, here it doesn't really matter too much. Wa is fine. I'm just working on the final parts of a section on determining if you should use wa or ga. In this case, I would say ga is better because you're not introducing a new subject. You're not shining a light specifically on you guys in comparison to other people. So ga is generally better for marking the subject.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's only a general rule. It's not. There are exceptions. There are. It doesn't matter if you use wa really in this case. Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, my question was the
go ahead.
last time we put there ni. So we said, I have written it up. It was a Shadow Sensei ni kyositsu de otsa no sosogata o misete moraemashita. So it's wrong with ni.
That's correct. It is wrong because I originally learnt this as kara all the time. And then a few weeks ago, when I was putting that slide together, I found a website and said, you should use ni or kara. So I thought, okay, maybe you can use ni as the origin as well. But when I spoke to Humu on Sunday, he said, no, we shouldn't use ni. We should use kara. So ni should only be either
in the new rules.
In the direction, or the agency in a passive sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions, guys, before we move on to today's new subject? Tutto bene? Okay. Right. Let's go back to the slides. Oh, it's so nice using a large monitor, isn't it? Okay. So today we're going to. Before we do causative, let's go back a few weeks to passive form. So you hopefully can remember we did the passive form a few weeks ago. This is when somebody does something to you. If you remember, we had a slight change of particles. So the person who is carrying out the verb that affects you was marked with ni, and the person who is affected by the passive form, or the thing which is affected by the passive form, is marked with ga. Okay, and then we turned the verb into its passive conjugation. So this is actually, if we can remember this is quite similar to the causative form, which we're going to do today. Yeah. So we've got two main uses of the causative form. One is to say that someone made somebody do something, like the policeman made me get into the car. Not something I'm saying frequently, I have to say. And the second situation is where you want to express that someone has allowed somebody to do something. So it's either making somebody do something, or like forcing, or allowing somebody. Now I need to express now the grammatical conjugation is exactly the same. There is no difference. If you write the sentence out in its skeletal structure, it means both to make somebody do something and to let somebody do something. There's no difference. Which I think is kind of the same in Dutch, isn't it, Piotr? To a certain degree.
Actually, there is a form indeed that is similar. It's the laten. Iemand laten. Iemand laten zitten is to let somebody sit or to make somebody sit. Yeah.
Right.
But it's not a very forceful form, but it is making them do something. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Now, let's use two examples to illustrate these two situations. Number one, Constantina made Tobe go to his room because he'd been a bad boy. And second situation, Wayne let Patrick eat the last piece of sushi. Okay. Guys, just give me a second. My hallway looks like a mail sorting office at the moment. Now, from those two examples, the sentence structure is, have I got a little animation going somewhere? There we go. So ga marks the subject, the person who is forcing or allowing the verb to happen, and ni marks the direction that the directive is made to. So the person who is being made or being allowed to do something. Okay, so for example, in this one above, Konstantina made Tobe go to his room. We would say Konstantina-san ga, Tobe-san ni, heya ni, and then we've got this conjugation, which I'll explain in a second. A conjugated verb with a causative form. Or Wayne-san ga, Patrick-san ni sushi o tabe sasete agemashita. Give you a second to make a note if you want to. Are you practicing, Piotr, or asking a question because you've muted at the moment?
Trying to make out what I'm reading.
Oh, okay. Yeah, try and see if you can come. So here's the group one. Here's the group one rule. Here's the group two rule. It should be fairly easy to make the rules in your head actually, because it's pretty much the same as the passive form, just an S instead of an R. And while you're here, Piotr, so what do you think the difference is between making somebody do something and letting somebody do something in these examples?
In the second one, I would say the permission is given, agemashita, and in the first one, it is implied it is not a permission, but just they have to.
Making somebody.
So that agemashita, and I'm assuming also moraimashita, kuremashita will come into play as well.
Exactly. Yes, exactly this. Yeah. If you make it a giving and receiving, then this implies allowing somebody to do something rather than making somebody do something. It implies it. It's not a fixed rule.
It's not a fixed rule?
No, I mean, what I mean is grammatically, there's no difference. Grammatically, there's no difference between these two sentences. It's just that the agemashita implies the allowing of somebody to do something. But you could, if you were to say, if you were talking casually, you said Wayne-san ga Patrick-san ni sushi o tabe saseta, then this could also mean he allowed him to eat it. It's just that it sounds kind of a bit direct. Yeah. Okay. Jock, do you know that you can take screen dumps of your tablet, by the way?
No.
You're using what tablet you're using?
iPad.
iPad. Does anybody know how to do screen dumps for iPad? What's the button pressing?
I don't know what screen bumps mean.
It means you can actually take a photograph of your screen.
Oh, okay.
And it's then on your iPad, and you can just look at the slides this way. If you remind me later, I'll find it for you, and then.
Okay.
Wasn't it the on/off button and then the home button at the same time?
That's true for a Samsung. I'm not sure if it's.
I know it is on Android, but I believe it was similar or the same on Apple devices as well.
Okay, I'll have a look later, and then we can have a little experiment. Okay, let's move on. So, as I've said now, the agency, the person who is allowing it to happen, is ga, and the target person is ni, the verb in the causative form. Here is how we transform the verbs. For group 1 verbs, we do almost exactly the same as we did with passive form. We take the infinitive, turn it into the negative plain form. So iku becomes ika, and then we put seru after it. So the only difference between this and the passive form is that was reru instead of seru. Ikaremashita, ikasemashita. Gruppen 2 ist tabaru, much easier and consistent. Tabaru, you knock off the ru, take the ru off, and put sareru. Tabesa, sorry, sase. Excuse me a second, guys. Somebody got a little mistake. Saseru, tabe saseru. Do that again, sorry. Tabe saseru. And then group 3, again, as usual, we have to learn these as individual verbs because there's no particular rule, but there's only 2 of them. Suru becomes saseru, a bit like the group 2 verbs, and kuru becomes kosareru, a bit like the group 1 verbs. Suru and saseru and kosareru. That's also a state, kosaseru. Jesus. Any questions, guys, so far? Alles good? Alles klar? Okay, so as I've already said, difference between making someone do something and allowing somebody to do something is grammatically, there's no difference in the sentence, but contextually, we will add te agemasu or te kurimasu after the conjugated verb to infer that it's somebody allowing somebody to do something. So what you'll notice, guys, is that all of these newly conjugated verbs, ikaseru, tabesaseru, kosaseru, and saseru, these are basically treated like group 2 verbs. So we just take off the ru off the end and put te to make it the te form. Right. You should use, you can use ageru in any situation if you're talking about other people. So if you're saying that John let Fred go to the cinema, you can use te ageru. It doesn't matter. You can use this in any situation. And if you know the 2 people that are being talked about, if you're close to them, then you can use kureru. It doesn't matter, you can use either ageru or kureru, but you can't use kureru for people who you are not close to. Do you know why? Jock, I think you know why, but let's see if anybody else knows why.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure this will be familiar when I explain it in a second. Let me know when if you need any more time writing. Okay. This is going to be a brief venture into keigo and sonkeigo.
Would that be because you're implying that one is lower than the other in a more direct way?
Yeah, exactly this. So if you've got a ground level, and this is person A, this is going to be the best artwork you guys have ever seen this morning. This is person B. Now, if you're using keigo, which means polite language, elevating language, it's okay to elevate this person up. This isn't you, this is person A and this is person B. It's okay to elevate somebody because you're not affecting person A's position. Sonkeigo, which means humble language, is doing something different. You're putting, this is person A again, you're putting person B lower than person A. Oops, that's my mouse falling off the desk, by the way. Well, that's person B falling down this very large pit. Okay, now you're not allowed to do that unless that person is in your inner circle and this person is not in your inner circle. So if this is a member of your family, you can use it. If this is you, you can use it, but you can't use it for somebody else. So this is, let me just write this in so you've got an idea. This is keigo, and this is things like ageru, to raise up. And this is sonkeigo, and this is things like kureru, to pass down, or kudasaru. Okay. So elevating is fine. You can elevate, but you can't decline somebody else. You can't put somebody else lower than somebody else. It's not your position to do this, except for yourself. Good, dozo.
Yeah, it's very confusing because you're not looking at the camera, so we never know when you actually see it.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. So you basically would not come to use morau at all in these situations when you're talking about that, about the causative.
So I think moraimashita is also a kind of sonkeigo.
No, but still, if you were to speak about you receiving permission from somebody, that would be a passive form of the causative. So is that?
You can use the passive form of the causative, absolutely. In fact, I've heard, rather than somebody said, should we just make some examples of this, guys? Otherwise, this is going to be confusing. So you're going to have to help me here to get this right. The English side, I mean, Piotr. So, for example, let's write something like that. Ishido Sensei, let me go to the party, for example, something silly. So this, if I literally translate this, this would be Ishido Sensei ga watashi ni party e, let's say, ikase te kurimashita, isn't it? Why or kudasaimashita? Why this way? Anybody? So why not moraimashita or itarakimashita?
Ishido Sensei is under the ga.
Exactly, yeah. He is the person who's doing it. So you can't say Ishido Sensei and then moraimashita, because it means that he received something. You have to say he gave it down to somebody, to me. So we have to use kurimashita or kudasaimashita. Yeah, good.
Because you're humbling yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's more the fact that he is the person who's doing the verb. If you put moraimashita at the end, it means that Ishido Sensei received something. But that's not what he's doing. He's giving something away. He's giving something away.
then we should, to use moraimashita, we should say we received permission from him.
Exactly. So this would be Ishido Sensei.
Would that then be me?
No, this would be kara. And then watashi ga party e ikasete moraimashita. But now, this is where we have to do something with this verb. Because,
Permission.
yeah, it's saying that
Ikaserarete?
ikaserarete, yes, ikaserarete. We have to turn this into the passive and causative verb. Ikaserarete, yes, yeah. So the causative goes first, make that verb first, and then you do the passive afterwards. Yeah. And unfortunately, guys, even though this is by far the harder one to visualize and create, this is the one that most people use. If you say, I was allowed to go to the party, then you actually have to do this.
So this is why I asked.
What? Huh? Sorry.
This is why I said ni at the beginning.
Exactly, yeah. So I just wanted to go through it step by step. Yeah.
And this is because of the passive form.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jesus.
So this is the usual way to say this, I'm afraid. If you said it this way, though, it's grammatically fine. It's correct. So if this is easier to use, to create, then use this way. It's fine. Effie just wrote, I chose the wrong day to not take notes. Don't worry, Effie, you'll have time.
So the ikaserarete is causative, passive, and te form together.
Exactly. And imperative, yes.
And imperative, yeah. It's like it couldn't get any better.
I mean, I know this feels like it's an incredibly complex conjugation, unless you speak Polish, in which case this is probably quite a simple conjugation. But if we try to sort of make this phrase in a Latin-based language, like, well, let me use English first, because I think we're principally Latin with a bit of Germanic. I would have to say, I was allowed to go to the party by Ishido Sensei. Now, again, this allowed is a verb that's done by Ishido Sensei, but I become the subject. So this is in itself a causative passive sentence. It's just that you wouldn't know this except if you were able to recognize the exact position and order of every single word in a sentence. If I move the words around, the meaning of the sentence completely changes. So I'm afraid we can't complain that Japanese is more complicated. Actually, English is much more complicated because the word order is absolutely critical. Yeah. Because if, for example, if I say I allowed Shido Sensei to go to the party, then look, the only word which is missing, words are was and by. These are missing from this one, and the order is slightly different. But otherwise, all the words are exactly the same. Piotr?
Yeah, but so these particles, the was and the by, are rather crucial here. And if you change it with the top sentence, you still have the I and the me, which is a residual form of the declination, or not the declination, but the changing the changing of the words that you get when they get a different position in a sentence.
Right.
So you still have remnants of that, but like German still uses Naamfehler, which does give them a position within the sentence. So object, subject structure have their own. The declination is for the verbs, and there's something for the nouns. I'm not remembering right now, but like some languages like English.
Sorry, that's also declination.
Isn't that just
nouns,
for
isn't it? Sorry, one more time.
Is it for nouns? Is it for nouns? I'm confused with the nomenclature. Sorry. But
I've been told by a Polish person that you decline your nouns in Polish, so I guess it's the same.
We decline everything.
That's true. Yeah, except a beer.
Are these two last sentences, that the last one is ni and the I was allowed is kara?
Yeah. So let's get this right here. So this one here, ni. Yes, this one is.
That ni is ni.
Exactly. This is here. Yeah. What was it? Oh no, sorry. It's the wrong way around. Sorry.
And now the last one is kara.
Sorry, I was allowed to go to the party. yeah, exactly. I know the other one is completely different. Right, she doesn't. Yeah. Anyway, good news is, guys, or it may not be good news at all. This could be bad news. It depends on your philosophy on learning languages. There is a whole bunch of causative verbs which are made for these situations. So, for example, we've learnt taberu, which is to eat, taberareru, to be eaten, tabesaseru, to allow somebody to eat, to force to eat. And then there's this other one, which we're not going to practice or even study this year, because I'd have to learn it myself, tabesu, which is the same as tabesasemashita. Yeah, it's a kind of shortening of this, I believe, but I've never formally learnt it. So ikasu is another one. This is the group 1 version, to allow or force somebody to go somewhere. But it's almost like a completely new set of verbs. So once I've gone away and learnt this particular subject and mastered it, then we'll cover it. But for the time being, I think these make it a little bit easier to do this thing. You could say ikasemashita. I think means to be allowed to go somewhere. I can't remember it exactly, but yeah, it short circuits this problem of making this really complicated triple conjugation of this verb. Yeah, ikashita, I was allowed to go. Or it might mean I allowed somebody to go. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. So ikasete agimasu means to allow somebody else to go. I'll just quickly find it in this dictionary. If you look up, I think it's tabesu. Just a second. Tabesu. Tabeseru. No, I can't find it, of course. Try ikasu. No, it's not on that either. I have to go away and find it, guys. But it's a weird shortened conjugation, which we'll do maybe March next year. Okay, any questions?
Mm. Um, how do we make this form where you use sasete as a request?
Oh,
So-
please let me go. Please let me do something.
No, sasete itadaku.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's quickly grab this up here a second. Tabe sasete itadaku. Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu ka? Itadakenai kana?
Yeah.
Mm.
So this is, I mean, this is the direct causative thing. So this is saying, itadaku, of course, means to receive. So you're putting yourself into the subject. So that's watashi ga anata ni. No. Oh, hang on. No, we can use it because it's itadakimasu at the end. Watashi ga anata kara tabe sasete itadakimasu ka. So of course we wouldn't use anata here. Of course we would. I'm just putting this in there as a kind of indicator, as a placeholder, and we also would say watashi ga. But this is what it means. Can I get you to allow me to eat?
So is that a very polite request then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Would you allow me to eat? So this is only, I mean, this is more polite than saying tabete ii desu ka, asking permission to do something. This is asking, would you please allow me to eat, which is what this is doing. Would you let me eat? Would please let me eat is basically what it's saying. Yeah, this is exactly how one would use it.
Mm.
Mm.
Oh.
I mean, in the end, it's much easier to pick two model sentences. Will you let me? And I will let you. So we're going to pick moraimasu and agemasu. And then just drop all the particles, drop all the subjects and all of the directions. Because if you're talking to somebody directly and they are the person who you're going to interact with about this, if you said tabe sasete itadakimasu ka, then you don't need to state what the subject or the recipient is. This means, could you let me eat? Because you've used itadakimasu ka, it's clear that this is about you asking for you. If you say tabe sasete agemasu yo, then because you've said agemasu, you're elevating the person you're talking to. This is clearly saying that you are giving permission for somebody else to eat. And then we can just don't worry about the subjects or the agents, because this is indicating the agents and the subjects.
So
The reason why I say don't worry about the subjects and the agents, because this sentence here, for example, I'll write a different version of this. Watashi ni anata. Oops. Can't do this. No. Anata ga. These two sentences mean exactly the same. It's just that we've swapped around. Just make sure of that just a second. I just also sometimes
Wouldn't one of the two need to be passive?
just trying to use this one, this kara. Sorry, yeah. So just a sec. Yeah, so not ni. Itadakimasu. Sorry, give me a second, guys. That's kara, right? So itadakimasu will have to be kara, and you'd write yourself. Oh, got it there. It's there anyway. And then itadakimasu. Actually, this is probably just going to confuse matters. Let's not worry about it. Yeah. Let's just leave this. Tatsi, go ahead.
I'm now a bit confused. If we go back to the Ishido Sensei, third sentence about Ishido Sensei, why is it not Ishido Sensei kara?
It's because, yeah, it's a good question. Ishido Sensei kara. Yeah, actually, if you've got moraimashita here, then yeah, you're right. This would be. Right. Yeah. Right, hang on a second. I need to just quickly rewrite this like this. So this, you're right, Tatsi, that should be ni ikaseraremashita. There we go. Yeah. So this is now using the passive form, and that's why we have ni. And this is using the primary verb here is moraimashita, which is why we have kara. So you're right. Yeah. But these two again mean the same thing. It's just that this one is a bit more polite.
So
Which is a
moraimashita becomes the main verb and therefore outweighs the iku.
Exactly. Yes, the passivity of the iku verb. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
One more question, Andy, if I
Sure.
may. Tabesasete itadakemasu ka? Since you're asking permission.
Yep. So this, by making it into the potential form, this makes it a little bit more polite. Itadakemasu ka? Yeah. So you can use either itadakimasu ka, which is already quite polite, or itadakemasu ka, which is even a little bit more polite than that.
My God.
Yeah. Tatsi, go ahead.
Then if we are using passive form as ikaseraremashita, and on the previous sentence, is it not ikasete moraimashita?
This one here. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Hang on a second. Ikaserarete. Hey, what's this? Hang on a second. Ishido Sensei ni ikaserare. Ikase. I don't know. This is getting too complicated for this.
Ikasete would make the verb active that he is giving permission, not is given. It makes it passive, right? Because we are given, we do not give. Although
yes, exactly. Yeah, ikasete Ishido Sensei kara. Yeah, sorry, it should be, yeah, you're right, it should be this. Ikasete moraimashita or ikaseraremashita. Is that right?
Okay, so we can shorten it to ikasete.
Yes. Yeah, because this is just the direct causative verb, isn't it? So actually, it's this version. Sorry, guys, it's this version which is usual. Ishido Sensei ni watashi ga party e ikaseraremashita. Yeah, this is what you would usually say if you are being given permission to do something. This is complex actually, because again, if I wanted to make this more polite and put moraimashita or kurimashita at the end, it's very difficult for me to try and understand what that particle is. And I'm not even going to bother because I don't think we need to worry about it for now. We can come back to the intricacies of linguistics at a later date, I think. Yeah.
Basically, you're not given permission, you're allowed to. You're
Yes.
permitted.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to some examples, shall we? And we'll try and keep it simple. Just before we go, just get all that.
Oh,
Right, I'm going to go to the toilet while you guys can worry about these example sentences. I'll be back.
You know, I start to worry about the lesson when Jackson says, "I was like, oh my God."
that was lesson 2. That was lesson 2, I promise you.
I was about to say you started worrying
Don't
now.
worry, be happy.
I'm not worried. I'm eating melon macarona. I'm going to become so fat.
Oh.
Melo macarona in Italy means you made it by yourself?
Of course, by myself. And it was
Okay.
really easy. And where they became really good. I'm surprised.
Okay.
Maybe I should change my profession to cook patisserie, Costantina.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to do the. I'm going to do an example. I'm going to do a hard one first. So yeah, I'm going to do this first one, but I'm going to change this slightly. Just to make it slightly more difficult. Because what we should recognize is, I just stop the presentation a second, is that this format here, this bottom left one, is going to be the format that we should use, the simplest one, which we should use if somebody is allowing you to do something, because it's got the ga or the wa as the person who's doing the allowing, and it's got ni, marking you, as the person who is receiving the allowing. So this is the perfect one to use. So using kuremashita or kudasaimashita. Okay. So the first one would be, so Sato Bucho, we'll use Bucho, is going to be the person who's allowing, and I am the person who is being allowed to do something. Sato Bucho ga watashi ni nomimono no kaikei o harawasete kuremashita. Okay. Harawanai, to make it into the plain negative, and then seru, harawasete kuremashita. Okay. Jock. So number 2 is a different one because you are being the person giving the permission. Do you want to go on that one?
Watashi ga Frank san ni
Good.
ano tegame o
Good.
kakasare.
No, that's the passive in there. So kakaseru becomes
Kakaserare mashita.
I know you're still making it passive, so it's just kakasemashita. Kakasemashita.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once more, 私がフランクに手紙を書かせました。
Exactly. Kakasemashita. I made him do it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
If you wanted to, Jock, if you wanted to say, I allowed him to write a letter, then how would you do that?
書かさせられ
I know. Don't go into the passive. Just keep it.
Oh, I allowed him. 書かさせくれた
Ageta.
あげた
Kakase. Kakaseru. Kakasete. Agemashita.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we are on week 28, so yeah, we're on the hard stuff. Okay, Piotr, number 3.
You promised the hard part was already behind us.
Well, this is the, even at the peak of the mountain, there are some rocks that we can trip over and break our neck on.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Plenty.
from the top of the mountain, it's the furthest to fall and kill yourself.
I'm going to be on the hard stuff when we finish, that's for sure.
Well, the sun's past the yardarm.
Oh, geez, he made me push the car.
Okay, Piotr, number 3.
Number 3. 彼は私に、車を押させました。
Exactly. Osasemashita. Yeah. How about he let me push the car?
押させてくれました。
Exactly. Osasete kuremashita. Yeah. Good. Spiros, how about number 4? Spiros, are you there?
Is it okay? Is it okay, Kuremashita, because it's a stranger who?
Yeah,
push it?
because no, it's kuremashita. He's making you push it, so you should use kuremashita. It's
Not
better than you-
agemashita.
No. Because
Okay.
you are receiving permission to push the car.
Okay. Yes. Now I understand. Yeah.
Okay. Spiros, how about number 4?
Yes. Choto tabe sase mas tabe choto tabe sase mashita kudasai.
So not tabe, you can't say tabe sasemasu kudasai, but you can say tabe sase. Tabe sase. What normally goes before kudasai? What normally goes before kudasai?
Sorry?
What usually goes before kudasai?
Te. Tabe sasete kudasai.
Exactly. Chotto tabe sasete kudasai. Exactly this. Yeah. Chotto, a little.
Choto tabe sasete kudasai.
Exactly. Yeah. This is perfect.
I'm surprised with myself.
Oh, don't be. This is good.
Thank you.
Tatsi, how about number 5? If you don't know any vocabulary, just say and I'll tell you the vocabulary.
I find it very difficult. Can I just listen?
Yeah, sure. Actually, let's do this one together. So I'll give you the hard bits. Hang on a second. Let me just grab that slide. And he made all the students do a lot of homework. If only the sentence was true, huh? Andy never makes anybody do any homework. So, so who is the person who is actually giving or forcing the verb?
Andy-san wa.
Yeah, good. And then who are the people who are being made to do stuff?
学生たち.
Good. 学生たち. And we should mark that with what participle? Good. Do you know the word for homework?
I forgot.
It's shukudai.
Shukudai. I didn't know.
Yeah. And then lots of?
いっぱい?
Why not? So if we can use ippai, then we should use that as an adverb, so we'll put it after shukudai. 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 Or, we should put it here actually. Shukudai or ippai. And then to do is?
I'm frozen now.
So the infinitive is suru. This is a group 3 verb. And if you look at your notes from earlier, if you made any, then suru was... One more time?
Surarete, no. Sureru kuremashita?
Actually, I can't remember myself. Just a second. It's saseru. Saseru.
Saseru kuremashita.
Yeah. So this was making somebody do something. So we can just say sasemashita. This would be enough. But if we had Andy let all the students do a lot of homework, then we would say not sasemashita, but the one you said before.
Saseru kuremashita.
Sasete.
Sasete kuremashita.
Yeah, sasete kuremashita. Exactly. Cool, good. Now, actually, as this isn't me, this is a different Andy, then we have to, unless we knew this person very well, unless we were close to both him and these students, we probably wouldn't get away with using kuremashita. This is one of those rare situations where we actually go over to this one. But that's too complicated for today, so we won't do it. We'll stick with sasera, right? Sasemashita. Oh, and actually, we'll use sasete. Agemashita would also be fine. Sasete agemashita. Not sasete.
Doesn't that make you humble?
No, it just elevates the people it's going to. So it's not humbling me, it's just elevating the recipients. Yeah.
But they're the students, so why should they be elevated?
Well, I mean, in this case, unless you were kind of close to them and you were able to make that kind of judgment, they are, I mean, we would know from afar that they were supposed to be junior, but as if we are the outsiders, we're not allowed to make that
judgment.
Yeah. So we could use agemashita, or yeah, the only other way to do it is to reverse the roles and use this uke torimashita, which I don't really want to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Here and down to there, and on to Yari. Please let me rest for 5 minutes.
Okay. Gofun o watashi ni yasumasemashita. Yasumasemashita. Or yasunde moraimasu.
Right. Which one? Because they're both very different. Let's pick.
Yes, I was thinking about which is better, but I think gofun o watashi ni yasunde moraimasu.
But that's kind of lesson 6. We're on lesson 26 at least.
Okay.
Let's pick this up and put it on the screen, shall we? Let's do it here, Yanni.
So I was thinking about Anataga.
Okay, so let's fill in those blanks for now, because it just makes sure that we're not losing track of who's doing what. So as you said, you're asking somebody else to do it for you, Anataga.
Yes.
Good. And then
I put Gofun O.
So just to make it clear, this is Watashi ni, isn't it, as well? Even if we're not saying it. Watashi ni. Gofun o. Okay, so the verb is yasumu.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yasumasemas could be.
This is fine, but this means you will let me rest. How would you say, please let me rest?
Kudasai.
Right, so there's kudasai here, but what do we do with this?
Yasumasete kudasai.
Oops. Yes. Masete kudasai, exactly. Gofun o yasumasete kudasai. Excellent. Yeah, good.
Not so easy.
I know.
Confused.
I mean, but as you said, what we learned earlier was, what you'd have to say is, if you want to make it easier, is yasunde mo ii desu ka, which is it okay to rest? This is a very easy way of saying this.
Okay.
But it's kind of it's a little bit base, I would say. And this is what you should really be asking for if you want somebody to let you do
using the
something.
kudasai.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and Margarita, are you joining us? Are you in?
I try.
Okay. How about this one? Would you please let me listen to this music? I'll put this on the whiteboard as well. Margarita, just a second. Oh, come on.
No, non c'era cosa scritto.
Ah, no, sì.
Would you please let me listen to this music?
Watashi ga
So actually, go ahead.
Anata kara.
Yeah, so we'll use ga.
Anata ga.
Mm-hmm.
Kono ongaku o.
Good.
Sasete.
Goes the kiku to, it becomes, what can you say it one more time, Margarita?
Saseru.
Yeah, kikase.
Kikasete.
Good.
Kudasai.
Kudasai, good, exactly.
Fito.
Certamente. Yeah. Kono ongaku o kikasete kudasai. Exactly. Good. Well done. Konstantina, I'll just, rather than keep swapping between screens, I'll just find the next one and put it up onto here. Okay. How about this one? Please allow Annie to drive the car.
Okay. Anata ga Ani ni.
Okay, I'll put anata ga in parentheses.
In brackets, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ani ni.
Good.
kuruma o.
Good. Oops.
Unten sasete kudasai.
Good.
Oh my God.
Sasete kudasai. Okay. You know, this is without. Oh God, you guys are the advanced group. Look, you can also say this. This is a weird situation where you can put agimas and kudasaimasu in the same sentence, because you're saying please for
Allow,
me,
yeah.
allow her. Yeah. Sasete agete sasete kudasai. Sasete agete kudasai. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But to be clear, if you throw too many words in this sentence, it becomes messy. As I said, grammatically, if you allow somebody to do something, grammatically, it's the same as saying make them do something. So by just saying unten sasete kudasai, this is also absolutely fine. The kudasai is in reflection to you asking them to do it for you, but you can just say, please make Annie drive the car. And this still means please allow Annie to drive the car. Yeah. Okay, back to John.
Grammatically speaking.
Exactly,
Okay,
grammatically speaking, yeah. Ooh, here's a very topical one, just a second.
This one was exactly, it is in Turkish, the sentence structure we just made.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this should be easy. If Andre won't stop talking, I will make him go home. You doing your exercises, Constantine?
No, I just realized, I say, oh my God, realize how many grammatical phenomena there are in this sentence.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah. Sorry, Jock, do you know this one's yours, by the way? You're just making notes?
I'm just making notes.
Oh, okay. Do you want to try this one? If Andre won't stop talking, I will make him go home.
Me?
Yes, please.
Moshi.
Good.
Andre ga. Yamenakattara.
So combine the two verbs, talking and stopping, and then you'll create it almost automatically.
Yamete.
You don't even need to use te, but make sure the two verbs the right way around. So you put them both into mass form.
Hanasu to yameru.
So hanashi yameru.
Really?
Yeah. So you can say tabe owaru to finish eating, and to stop somebody, hanashi yameru. Yeah. But this has to be hanashi yameru. So this is actually the causes, so the conditional verb, isn't it? So hanashi yameru.
No.
It's negative though. Sorry, negative conditional.
Yamenai.
Yamenai, and then into the conditional.
Nakereba.
Oh, good. Yame nakereba. So in that case, we don't even need to use moshi. We can just leave that.
Okay.
Hanashi yame nakereba.
Uchi ni.
Good.
Kaisasemasu.
Kaeru becomes kai, so it goes from kaeru to kairanai, but without the nai.
And kairanai.
Yeah.
But I will make him go home.
So we start off with the plain negative of it, kaera, and then it's already in the nai form. Actually, it's already It's already in the nai form. I've just taken the nai off because we don't want to.
Kaeresase. Kaeresasemasu.
I will make him go kaerasemasu.
Kaerasemasu. Jeez.
Yeah. So, guys, this is going to be, because like all the other conjugations, it's going to be a lot easier to remember the method if we just remember one version of each. So there's 4 verbs you need to remember: ikaseru, tabesaseru, saseru, and kosaseru. So we just need to memorize these 4. Then we've got a model for all of the group 1, group 2, and group 3 verbs.
Could you please tell the meanings of these?
Sorry, one more time.
Could you please tell me the meanings?
Oh, sure, yeah. Of course, this is from iku, which is to go, which is a group 1 verb. And this is taberu, to eat, which is a group 2. Saseru comes from suru, which is to do, group 3. And kosaseru is to come. Sorry, that's kuru, which is to come, also group 3.
So this is passive versions of these verbs.
So all of these ones here, these are all the plain dictionary forms. So this is the infinitive.
Yeah.
Iku, taberu, suru, and kuru.
Right.
So we can use these as they are actually in casual conversation. We can just say Tokyo ni iku. Are you going to Tokyo?
Right.
And then these are the causative forms. These 4 here.
Right.
Yeah. So Tati, the only thing to be aware of is that all group 1 verbs will conjugate the same way into the either the passive or the causative. So we only need to remember one of them. Same thing with all of the group 2 verbs. They all conjugate the same way. But there are only 2 group 3 verbs: suru, to do, and kuru, to come. And they always conjugate in a slightly different way. Sometimes the entire word changes. So we have to just memorize each time both of the group 3 verbs as individual verbs. It's a little bit more work to remember, but there's only 2 of them. So yeah.
What did you say, Andy? The group 1, the passive, and what else was the same?
For example, passive and causative, every group 1 verb conjugates the same way. So they all conjugate the same way in their causative form, and then they all conjugate the same way in their passive form.
And does that apply to group 2 as well?
Yeah, well, group 2, yes, yeah, exactly, yeah. So again, all we do is knock off the ru, and we either put rareru for the passive, or sareru, or saseru for the causative. Always the same way. So we only need to memorize 4 verbs for each type of conjugation, except tefl, of course. Tefl and tafl are a pain, which is why we did them early.
Do you realise that's a 20 letter word there? Hanashiyama nakareba.
It's a bit of a whacker, isn't it?
20 letters there. Oh dear.
I think what was the other one we had a few weeks ago on a Sunday? It was, do you remember, Costa or Yod? It was something really crazy, like it was a condition. Oh, if you don't want it to become warm or something.
That was also a tongue twister, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Wasn't it? It was one of the challenges, wasn't it? I'd set. It was an Easter egg challenge, I think, and it was something really crazy. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to Piotr. You're next, actually. Let me grab the next one.
Hi.
Oh, this is funny. Actually, I should have given this one to Jock.
No, thank you.
It's this one. Jock, this is one that you've probably more likely to do.
Oh, green food is not natural.
Okay, so this is a step. This is a step forward in our using of causative verbs. But Piotr, I'm sure you have the capability to do this. Let's add
so
all of the redundant subjects and things as well, though. Let's put those in parentheses.
Okay, then let's start with anata ga watashi ni.
Yep.
Yasai o, or watashi no yasai o.
I guess it's probably quite obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. And let's see, it was taberu tabe saseru, so tabe sasenai de kudasai.
Excellent. Tabe sasenai de kudasai. Well done. Sasuga suyaka da na, anata.
Sensei ga sugoi.
Urusei ne. Good. Tabe sasenai de kudasai.
Seiji da na.
Okay, Spiros. Here's the next challenge. Is this something your children say to you?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. They've left. To go to the pub.
Moshi watashi no room.
Heya.
Heya. Clean.
So the word to clean is soji suru. So this means
soji.
So this would mean, yeah, this would be for something like a room. You couldn't really use this for your sword if you're cleaning your sword. You can't.
Yeah, I understand. Soji
Remember this is so you don't need at this point
here.
Yeah, you don't need the causative because you're just making a conditional. Yeah.
Sasi.
You just want to, sorry, not a causative, sorry. This is a conditional here. This bit here is conditional. So you just need to make a conditional sentence first.
Moshi watashi no heya soji sa.
So suru is shimasu.
Shimanai.
No.
Shimanakereba.
That's if I don't clean my room.
Arimasu. Shimanakereba narimasen.
Hang on a second. So we've started off, so you're thinking of the obligative that I must clean my room. But at the moment, we're making a conditional clause. So you started off with moshi, which is of course if, and then this has to finish with that subclause, has to finish with something, tara. Now, you can
shitara,
do shitara, exactly, yeah, exactly, shitara. Yeah.
So moshi watashi no heya o soji shitara. Watashi ni party ni.
Good.
Iki Iku. Ikase. Sa.
No, not too many syllables.
Ikasete.
Hey.
Ikasete.
So if we're finishing with te, this needs to be some more words here.
Kudasai.
Yeah, kudasai. It's good. But as it's a question, kikase kudasai.
Ikasete ka kudasai.
No. So you can either, to make this into a real question, which sounds like a request, you can say kudasaimasu ka?
Kudasaimasu ka.
Or you could say kuremasu ka? Now, it sounds like a question. It's a literal translation of the English sentence. Of course, it's a request. Please let me go to the. Right. If I clean my room, please let me go to the party. But this is perfect. You could say kudasai, kudasaimasu ka, kuremasu ka, or just ikasete kure.
So, moshi watashi no heya o soji shitara, watashi ni party ni kasete kudasaimasu ka?
Yeah, perfect. This is absolutely fine. Yeah, this is good. Well done. Okay, Tatsi, I'll give you a slightly easier one rather than the universe killer that's immediately below it. It's this one. Can I take your picture, please?
Watashi ga anata no shashin.
Watashi. Okay, so there is the potential to have lots of subjects and topics in this. So let's just start off with, let's see. As it's going to be causative, then really we're asking the other person to give us permission. So it wouldn't be watashi ga, but
can we just omit?
We can, but we would omit usually. But just to be clear, we're actually saying anata ga because we're asking them to give us exactly, yeah. So anata ga watashi ni. So this would of course be omitted in a normal sentence. And then
shashin ni.
Shashin o.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was taking picture?
Is toru is the infinitive, which means to take.
And it's group.
Group one.
Like ikaseru.
Yes.
Toraseru?
Good. Toraseru is the infinitive. And then to turn it into a request. Sorry, one more time.
Kuremasu ka?
You could say torasemasu ka. This is actually a fine way of asking a request. Yeah. If you wanted to finish it with like something kudasai, then how would you do this?
Torasete kudasai.
Perfect. Yes. Torasete kudasai. Exactly.
Please
well done.
Take your picture.
Yes, exactly. So, I mean, to make this really really complex, you would say anata no shashin o. So anata ga watashi ni anata no shashin o torasete kudasai. This would be everything, but it would be implied, I think, if you said shashin o torasete kudasai. It's implied that you're saying your photo. Yeah. Cool. Piotr, dozo. Are you going to ask if we should have watashi wa at the beginning?
Hi, what would the difference be between torasete kudasai and torasete moraimasu ka?
Torasete. Because in moraimasu, you'd have to turn it into the passive. Torare. Toraserare. I don't know. Don't ask me these difficult questions on a Tuesday.
I retract my question.
Let's give an allowance to Piotr that he can ask up to 5 questions.
Yeah,
and
I think that's a good idea.
Once he burns this,
it's gone. Yeah.
Thank you, Consta.
Oh, sorry, did you have a question?
Yes.
Or do you need to go?
Torasete kudasai or torasete kudasai maska?
Exactly. Kudasai maska is also fine. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Good. Okay, we've kind of burned through time, guys. I know that you haven't all had a chance of doing 2 problems, but if you want to take these away and try them for homework, or come back either tonight or on Thursday evening, I'll post them here for you now. In a second. And you can take a screen grab. Or come back later and you can do more later.
So this won't count as a question, but this is the same list as on the slides, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, no problem. Okay, any questions, guys, before we finally finish? Alles gut? Alles klar? Yeah? Any bladders full like mine? Okay, thanks, guys. I shall see you later.
Thank
Ciao,
you.
ciao.
Bye.
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Matane.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you, Andy.
Kiss
Thank you.
get
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Ciao a tutti.